C.A. Swanson and Sons of Omaha, Nebraska, packers of America's best-known brand of canned and frozen poultry, presents the exciting television game, The Name's the Same. Now, let's meet our panel of famous names. Co-author of the Broadway hit Guys and Dolls, Abe Burrows. Famous radio and television actress, Joan Alexander. Well-known composer, conductor, and author, Meredith Willson. And your host and moderator, another famous name, Robert Q. Lewis.
I thought I'd help out. Good evening, and welcome once again to The Name's the Same. Tonight again, you're going to meet some people who have very famous names. Names the same as well-known people, places, and things that we all know. And tonight, as always, it's up to our trio of experts to determine those famous names by a process of cross-examination. Well, to start things off, let's meet our first guest with a famous name. Sit right down. Where are you from?
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn, all right. I suppose you go to school there, don't you?
Yes.
All right, now we're not gonna give away your name, and from now on I'm going to call you Mr. X, but you do have a very famous name, don't you? All right, let's let our home audience see this gentleman's famous name. All right, young man, this is your name, isn't it? We'll see what our panel can do with you. Kids, once again, you cross-examine Mr. or Master X, the case may be. Find out what his famous name is. Remember, you're sort of competing with one another to see who can guess his famous name first. The losers pay. You have 10 questions apiece. The panelist who guesses the name correctly keeps his money. The losers pay out $25 by personal check. And don't grin like a Cheshire cat, Meredith Wilson. If you use up your questions, you lose, naturally. Master X, you may answer yes or no, and as if you were the famous person whose name you bear. All right? Fine. Let's start with Dr. Burrows. Abe?
Oh. Hey, kid. Well, he's from Brooklyn now. Are you living?
Yes.
Are you an American?
No.
Is your name the kind of name that if a guy has got such a kind of name there in Brooklyn, he is embarrassed? Do the kids, your friends, do they rib you? Do they kid you about having your name? They make fun of you?
No.
Because you hit them or because they don't make fun of you? They don't. I'll pass.
Usen they to hit you one day?
Usen day?
All right. Joni?
Usen today.
Usen it today? I'm sorry. Joni, Usen you would be ready?
Are you in the arts?
No.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Yes.
Sure.
Yes.
Sure.
Are you an actor?
No.
Are you a writer?
No.
Are you in science?
No.
Writer, actor. Are you a singer?
No.
What are the other odds?
I go there.
Are you a
bookmaker?
Are you a dancer?
No.
You sure you're in the arts?
Very definitely. 4 questions. All right, Mayor.
Well, first of all, the last I heard about your nationality, young fellow, my lad, was that you were not American. Could I pursue that momentarily and find out if you were perchance English?
No.
Do you come from one of the Romance language countries?
Yes.
Yes. Are you Italian?
Yes.
You're Italian, and you're in the arts, but you're not all these different things. Are you now engaged in your famous work in this country?
I believe so.
You believe so?
Yes.
Are you connected with music?
Yes.
Do you lead an orchestra or band?
Yes.
Yes. An Italian, let's see, an
fine.
Italian band, Carmen Lombardo, a Guy Lombardo. I'm just thinking. He's an Italian band leader who is not necessarily in this country. I don't understand that. An Italian band leader who is not in this country.
Oh, Abe knows.
Does this band leader play an instrument when he conducts?
No.
And we already established that he is not a singer.
Yeah, well, yes. We have 3 questions, Mayor.
I see. 3 questions? But does he play the piano?
No.
I don't really know that. I can't answer that honestly.
Uh-huh.
Meredith.
Well, is he
You would not know him primarily for playing any
Yes. Is he a symphony conductor?
Yes.
And you have 1 question.
Well, there's only one, Arturo Toscanini.
There you are. Very good, Arturo. Incidentally, I'm not sure, Meredith, is Maestro Toscanini in this country?
The maestro is in this country.
Has he
That gave me a
returned?
little pause. He was rehearsing this afternoon.
Oh.
He just returned from England.
Please give him my best.
That's
All right,
perfectly
Arturo.
yes.
You did very, very well. I think Joni, Abe, write out your checks for $25 apiece. Arturo, I'll ask you to go over there and pick up your checks. And thanks from the Swanson people for playing the names the same. Good boy. All right, now let's meet our next guest with a famous name. Once again, I'll ask where you're from.
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn. Well, this is an all-Brooklyn show tonight. What do you do, sir?
I'm a salesman.
Salesman for what? What type of a...
A woolen jobber.
Oh, good for you. All right, now, we know you've got a famous name. We're all anxious to take a look at it. And incidentally, for submitting this gentleman's name to us tonight, we're sending $10 to Miss Susan Gold of New York City. Now, let's let our home audience see this gentleman's famous name. All right, panel, you remember the rules. 10 questions. Mr. X, you'll answer yes or no. Use as many or as few questions at a time as you like. If you run out of questions, you lose, and pay Mr. X your check for $25. Let's start with Meredith. Mer?
Oh. Well, do you look anything like the person whose name you bear?
No.
Well, are you a man?
No. No, I think I better give you a little help here, Mer. This gentleman's name represents a thing. I'll help you that much.
Oh, you're a thing, I see. Well, are you a useful thing, something used in business or industry?
No.
No? Well, is it something used for pleasure? In other words, could I use this thing to entertain myself?
Oh, yes. Very definitely.
Would I use this in front of guests?
Oh, sure.
I think so.
Yes, indeed.
Wait a minute now. Could I play some kind of games with this?
Sure, you'd have a jolly time.
Well, did Joe DiMaggio make his fame playing with one of these?
Not to my knowledge. No.
I'm going to pass.
Is this a manufactured thing?
Yes.
Does it have anything to do with a living thing? I mean, was it made from something that was formerly living?
Parts of it may have been, Abe, but that wouldn't do you much good, though. Parts of it.
Is it a trademark product? I mean,
No.
is it you say I got a certain kind of a car or something?
No.
It's just a thing.
In other words, many manufacturers would create this.
Some of Meredith's questions confuse me. Is it something that's normally found in a household?
Yes.
Yes. You say, yes or yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, I think I'll help you to this extent. No, I won't. Go ahead.
Well, to what extent were you going to help me?
I don't know what extent, but I'm not going to. Go ahead.
Is it found in the kitchen?
No. It might be, occasionally.
Normally, is it found in the kitchen?
In a normal kitchen, no.
No. Is it usually centered in one room of the house?
Yes.
Is that the... Jesus, a loud noise.
4 questions. Go on.
Is it the living room?
That would not be the one room, I don't think.
Well, I see.
Well, I'm trying to help you now. Just
I don't
relax.
think you are.
I really am doing my best.
I pass.
Attaboy.
Isn't
Joni?
it something that would be used by both men and women?
Possibly. It's a good answer. I like that answer.
Would it also be used by children?
Yes. Yes.
You're very definite about that. Would it be used more by children than by men and women?
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
Is this a small thing?
Well, now, here we go again. The relativity of sizes confuses us frequently. Let me put it this way. It comes in several varying sizes.
Is it something a child might eat?
Yeah, but you wouldn't be happy about it. No, a child would not ordinarily...
Is it a child's toy?
Yes.
It is a child's toy?
Yeah.
Oh, there are 8 million child's toys.
Well, now...
And they're all over my house, I might add. Is it something that a child could hold in his or her hand?
Like dice.
Oh, in a household. You see, when we talk about normal household, we immediately preclude Dr. Burroughs. A half a minute and a child could hold it in his hand.
Would it make noise when the child held it in its hand?
I don't remember, but I think nowadays they make them so they do make a little noise, some of them. Yeah. Think about a child's toy that this might have the name like...
Well, is your first initial A something?
No. You have one
Something
question.
that you would hold in your hand and... Well, wait a minute, I have to think. Something that you hold in your hand and it's not A something.
No,
is
it's
it?
not
Well,
A
that?
something.
You go and I'll...
All right. Mary?
All I can think of is George Space Patrol helmet. That isn't your name.
No, I'm afraid I'm going to have to call time. This gentleman's name is Teddy Bear.
Oh.
Teddy Bear. Teddy Bear. Teddy Bear. All three of you, please write out checks for $25. Teddy, thank you from Swanson for playing the names the same. Go on over there and pick up your check.
I bet you get a lot of kidding with that way.
Well, now, ladies and gentlemen, we come to the I'd Like to Be portion of our program, and here to play I'd Like to Be with us is the well-known actor of motion pictures and television, Mr. David Niven. The first opportunity I've had to meet Mr. Niven, although I've enjoyed his work tremendously. I think you know our panel, Mr. Niven.
I do. I eye them with a certain amount of mistrust.
Well, you have good reason for doing so. Well, now, David Niven, before we go any further, of course, the panel can't try to guess who you are. We all know who you are. I guess everybody watching does. We know you're a very good actor and a very famous one. But before the program started, David Niven told us who he might like to be, just in fun, of course, if he were not himself. And, panel, we'll see if you can find out who that person is in just a moment. I think it's a good one, too. But first, let's look in on Jean Sullivan as she sort of browses through her files.
You know, in almost everyone's recipe file, there's a universal favorite. Chicken pie. But making chicken pie the old-fashioned way takes a lot of time and work, so perhaps that's why you don't serve it more often. But now, you can serve wonderful chicken pie as often as you like, without any work and in practically no time. Just serve Swanson quick frozen chicken pie. You don't even have to thaw it. Just take it out of the carton, pop it into the oven, brown, and serve. And you have a homemade kind of chicken pie with a flaky crust that's a crispy golden brown and filled with extra large pieces of tender, juicy chicken and rich golden gravy. Swanson quick frozen chicken pie can be baked and served in its own shiny aluminum dish. Oh, and this is important. Swanson quick frozen chicken pies are all U.S. government inspected. So always look for the U.S. government seal on every package of Swanson quick frozen chicken pie. Yes, friends, do treat your family to their favorite chicken pie as often as you like. The easy way, with Swanson quick frozen chicken pie. It's Swanson, the name of the finest chicken in the land.
Atta girl, Gene. The more I travel across the country, the more people tell me how much they're enjoying our wonderful Swanson products. You try them, too. You'll see what we're talking about. Well, now we're set to play I'd Like to Be, and, oh, he's just raring to go. We've been chatting here for a moment. Our panel's going to try to find out who it is David Niven would like to be. Let's let our home audience see that famous name. panel, we play it the same as we did before. The loser's checks go to David Niven's favorite charity. Joan Alexander, will you start, please?
This person you'd like to be, Mr. Niven, is he living?
No.
Is it a he?
It's a he.
It's a he who is not living. Was he in the arts?
It could be.
Was he an actual live person as opposed to a fictional one?
He was a live person.
Was he American?
No.
I'll pass to you and let you do some dirty work.
Yeah?
Did this man live in the last century?
No.
Is this a sort of an antique type fellow? One of the...
Well, how old is an antique?
Well, a fellow who wore...
I told you were going to have trouble tonight, Panel.
A fellow who wore robes and things instead of clothes like we wear.
He was antique enough not to wear modern dress.
Oh, I see. Did he hail from the historical country? Let us say, did he come from Italy?
No.
Or Rome?
No.
No. I'll pass. I want to think this over.
Was he English?
No.
All right.
You seem to disagree.
I don't disagree at all. You go right.
Well, then if
Take
there
a
was
large bet.
Was
You're
he
right. You're
was he
right,
an
man. I had to look down to find out.
He was an 18th or 19th century character.
He was... I always get those back to front.
I want to help you as much, but you're only allowed to answer yes or no.
Yes.
He was. No, so if there is doubt, I have to take advantage of these slips. I mean, if there is doubt about him being English, 18th, 19th century character, was he living in America at the time?
He was living in America at the time.
Was he of English descent?
No.
Was he
Let me help you, Abe, to this extent. May I do this? The English portion would not mean too much to you. His ancestry would not mean too much.
I understand the language quite well.
Sometimes I wonder, like when you were talking to our young friend from Brooklyn.
Yeah, well,
go ahead.
now, you say the guy, it might have been the arts that he was in, but you didn't seem to say he was in the arts. Now, was he a kind of a man that you would like to be because of the fact that he lived a wild kind of a life?
Yes.
Aha. Now, a wild kind of life...
It is not Errol Flynn. I just like to help them occasionally.
I think you're knocking the product a little bit.
The century told me that. Now, you say a wild kind of a life. Was, in those days, a wild kind of a life, you said Errol Flynn made me think, was he a seafaring man?
He was.
He was?
Mm-hmm.
A seafaring man, was he,
May I actually ask you one question? How did Errol Flynn make you think of seafaring?
Well, Errol Flynn is always in
He's always on a boat.
It's just that that's not what I associated with. But go ahead.
I'm going to pass to the girl who knows about the boats here.
He was a seafaring man, he was an adventurer, and he did live in America. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Was he of French
No.
origin?
No.
Was he Spanish?
No.
Oh, you want to tell me something?
I think I'm a Scotsman. I'm a Scotsman. Does that give you a hint?
Yes, rather. A Scotchman, a very gallant Scotchman?
He was very gallant
He
in
was
his
very
own
gallant.
way.
In his own way. Did he ever put a cape down for a lady?
I doubt it.
Scotchman, Sir Walter Raleigh. I don't know who it is. A Scotchman.
All right. You have two questions.
Was he of royal?
No.
You have one question,
was
Joni.
He royal? Pass. You go, dear.
Mayor?
Well, I'm still confused about this fellow's nationality. We haven't discovered anything about that beyond that this Scotch hint and the fact that he did live in America. Is that right? And when you say that he lived in America, do you mean that his claim to fame, the reason why we all know him apparently, is this took place in America?
No, his claim to fame did not take place in America. He lived...
Oh, wait a minute.
Poor Abe. I feel so sorry for Abe because he has no hair to pull when he wants to do it.
I want to tell you how sorry I feel for Abe, is that I'm going to pass.
Yeah, because the nationality now, when you say Scotch, was this guy, I was doing this before, you know, was he what is known as a pirate?
Yes.
Now, a pirate of American Scotch, was he finally, when he was executed, however, it was in the British Isles?
Yes.
Well, then it's Captain Kidd.
All right. Captain Kidd is correct. Incidentally, I like to mention from time to time what our guests on The Name's the Same are doing. Mr. Niven has just completed a picture called Island Rescue, and you're off to do the motion picture version of one of my favorite stage plays, The Moon is Blue. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Well, wonderful, and thank you so much. You go on over there. You're going to get yourself $50 for your favorite charity from Joan and Meredith, and thanks so much from Swanson for playing The Name's the Same.
Never see you without thinking of Niven's Highland Lighting.
That's true. Nice to see you. That's true.
Now, let's meet our next guest with a famous name. Hi. All right, sir. My name is Lewis. Please don't tell me yours. Just tell us, if you please, where you're from.
Rochester, New York.
Rochester. Good. And what do you do?
Personal engineer.
Good for you, sir. Before we play our game, let's let our home viewers see this gentleman's famous name. We know this is the gentleman's name because our legal experts have checked on its authenticity. Now, you remember how we play our game, panel and Mr. X. Let me tell you that Mr. X's name represents a thing. All right, Joni, suppose you start. You're good on things.
Haven't been good on anything tonight. Is it likely that I have had one of these things?
I think so.
Oh, yeah.
Could I have one in the living room of my house?
Yes.
Would this thing make a housewife's life more pleasant?
Yes.
Yes, Joan, that's apt. Yes, it would.
Could I get one in Macy's department store?
Possibly.
Possibly?
Yes, I'm pretty sure you could.
Would I most likely carry it home in my purse?
Probably not.
No, I sort of doubt that.
Could I receive this at the back door?
Yes, I think so.
Yes, that's a nice... Yes, indeed. We have about a minute and a half.
If the television repairman were to come...
Yes? Would you mind finishing what you had in mind? What is your problem?
I forgot.
Well, then we've got the television repairman in your house.
Oh, the television repairman. Would I be likely to get one of these from him?
If he's any kind of a red-blooded American boy, yes.
Could I plug it into the wall?
What is your current, AC or DC? No, Joni, I'm afraid not. No.
I pass, boy, before I get anything more.
All right. Meredith, our time is running out. You have about 30 seconds. Incidentally, maybe I'd better give you this little bit of a help. This gentleman's name is a thing, but it can also be considered it's sort of an action.
Well, thanks a lot.
That's all right. But you might enjoy that. Go ahead.
Action and a thing. Is this something I might do in my office?
Yes.
Is this something I might also do in my home?
Yes.
Do some people do this better than other people?
Oh, very much better.
Might I do this sitting down?
Yes.
Yes, and I'm afraid I'm going to have to leave you sitting there, but Meredith, there's just no more time to work on Mr. X's name. I'm going to have to tell you, Mr. X's name is A. Caress. A. Caress. What does the A stand for, Mr. Caress?
Arthur.
Arthur Caress. Do you? You. All right. You've done very well, I think, panel, considering the obstacles. Joni, Meredith, Abe, write out your checks for $25 each. And Mr. Caress, I'll ask you to go over there to pick up your checks. And thanks so much from Swanson for playing The Name's the Same. We'll be back in a moment, folks, to tell you how our panel did and a little bit about next week's show. But first, here's Gene Sullivan once again to tell us about an old-fashioned family quiz.
In days gone by, when Mother served chicken, dinner always began with a family quiz. Mother always asked everyone, what part of the chicken do you want? And in most cases, everyone answered, the drumstick. Well, because there are only 2 drumsticks on a chicken, only 2 members of the family got the part they asked for. But nowadays, thanks to Swanson, everyone can have their favorite drumstick. Just ask for a package of Swanson quick frozen drumsticks. Yes, they're all drumsticks, all in one Swanson package. Just thaw, pop them into the pan, and before you know it, they're ready. Fried to a crispy golden brown. So tender and tasty. And with no questions asked, the whole family enjoys sizzling, hot, tasty drumsticks. Remember, all you need is a package of Swanson quick frozen drumsticks with all the freshness, all that fine flavor frozen in. Now, if you and your family prefer other parts of chicken, ask for Swanson all wings, all thighs, all breasts, all chicken livers, whole cut-up fryers, and wonderful new chicken pies. All are Swanson, the freshest, tastiest chicken you can buy. Quick frozen and packaged by Swanson, the name of the finest chicken in the land.
Thank you, Gene. Incidentally, that noise you may have heard while Gene was speaking was just our audience drooling at the fried chicken, and I don't blame them. All right, let's have some accounting. Meredith Wilson, will you make your report?
Yes, I lost $75, but I'm very happy to be able to take home with me the picture of Joan getting a caress from the television repair. Good night.
Joan Alexander, how about you?
I lost $100, but just think I got that caress on DC Current. Good night, everybody.
All right, Abe, how'd you do?
I lost $75, and I think the conversation has gotten out of hand. Good night, everyone.
Good night, panel. You did very, very well. So long, folks, for C.A. Swanson and Sons, packers of America's best-known brand of canned and frozen poultry. The panel and I will see you again next week on The Name's the Same, which will be brought to you by Bendix Home Appliances.
You can bet on these for Wash Day Ease, a perfect pair. The incomparable new Bendix Tumble Action washer and automatic dryer. Bendix Tumble Action, only automatic method proved safe as hand washing. Only washer in the world with magic heater. Keeps wash water hot, gets clothes cleaner automatically. Bendix automatic dryer soon pays for itself. Dries in breezy, fresh air for softer, fluffier clothes. For Wash Day Ease, nothing can compare with Bendix, the perfect pair.
Name's the Same has been a Mark Goodson, Bill Todman production. Associate producer, Peter Arnell. Directed by Jerome Schnurr. Technical director, John Broderick. Miss Alexander's Gone by Paul Parnes. And this is Lee Vine speaking for C.A. Swanson and Sons, reminding you to tune in each and every week at the same time for the...
Are you watching, you little rascals?
Oh, it's fun, isn't it?
And who subscribes to it? Go on, push the button.
Think of the fun you could have on the tube.
The tube? You. Tube.
Tube.
TV tubes. That's a lot of fun, isn't it?
It's going to be a lot more fun if you keep going the way you're going.
Go on, push the button. Please subscribe.
I hope they're watching.